Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatgurum. So last week we were talking about this concept of equanimity. Practically it is not possible. Practically in the sense, from the standpoint of our reaction and behavior to this world, how to be same-sighted, how to behave in the same way with everyone. From that point of view, it may not be possible. You don't behave in the same way with different people, different relations. But when it is said about equanimity here, is that there is something which is common, something which is fundamentally, essentially common. For example, few of us are here. Everybody is unique. Nobody looks like other person. Still there is commonality. You can divide people into two. There are some men, there are some women. There is a different classification. Some people are tall, some are not tall. Another classification, some with specs, some without specs. Another classification, some fair, some not fair. There are so much difference in all of us. But there is a generalized way of looking at it. For example, we all are human beings. Everybody put into the same one basket. All are equal. As a human being, we are equal. Then we have differences. As we told, differences in the height, in the color, in the race, in the gender, in varieties of ways we are different. In the same way, there are varieties of ways where we are one. Not only one, we are identical. Physically we are different. Mentally we are different. Intellectually we are different. Spirituality we do not know. So how to know that? But there is so much common in us. Because we all are human beings, all the human traits are common. We all eat, we all sleep, we all depend on these things, etc. But even that which is not in the realm of my imagination is what scriptures come into picture. In our scripture at least, I don't vouch for scriptures of other religions which I am not that familiar with. But in nowhere in the scripture says about anything which is of your day-to-day life, which is visible, which can be done with the common sense, with the intelligence, which is behavioral, which is time-being, or which is mundane. Scriptures, we do not need to say that. Scripture don't need to tell you whether you should take this kind of food or that kind of food. No. Tasmat shastram pramanante karya akarya vyavasthitam. Scriptures are required to tell you which you should not, on principle, some more. All these are sattvika things, these are rajasika, these are tamasika. You decide what you want to take. Hinduism, there is no way where any kind of compulsion is given. Any kind. Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna told the whole thing, all the 18 chapters to Arjuna. Last slokas, 18th chapter, last slokas, last but one verse. The last sloka is the 78th, okay? 78th sloka of the last chapter. Sri Krishna will tell to Arjuna, very interesting concept. Whatever I had to tell you, I have told you everything. Now, think endlessly. Think as much as you want to think, you think. I told you because I love you so much. Sri Krishna says this word. Arjuna also says. Arjuna and Krishna both were friends and almost of the same age. So, there is a very, a little emotional touch is there in one sloka in Bhagavad Gita, where when Krishna shows the universal form, the Vishwarupa Darshana to Arjuna, Arjuna is not able to understand, here is my friend, we played together. Of course, all of us respect him as the highest human being. But I didn't know this side of you. So there is a nice sloka on the Vishwarupa Darshana in the 15th chapter. And it is little repentance from Arjuna, little overwhelming condition that I was thinking we are friends, but you are so great. I am so insignificant in front of you. And that sloka is Sakheti matva prasavam yaduktam. Sakha matva. Considering you as my friend, Sakha, prasavam yaduktam. Whatever came in my mouth, I told you. Hey Krishna, hey Yadav, hey Sakha. Hello friend, how are you? That also I told you. Oh Yadava, come. That also I told you. Ajanata. Because I did not know this glory. Mahima idam tvayedam. Your this significance, your this greatness, not knowing your this greatness, I addressed you, I told you unknowingly. Maya pramadat, out of ignorance I told, because I didn't know who you are. Maya pramadat pranayena vapi, or maybe out of love. When you love someone, all his or her glories become insignificant. Husband broke a record in his own field. So wife was asked, do you know what he has done? Nobody in the world has done. So what? Your love is so much that the uniqueness of that person, which is singular in this world, doesn't matter to you. Love reduces this glory in all life. Anyway, so that which I was telling, after talking about the whole Bhagavad Gita, on the 63rd shloka of 18th chapter, Sri Krishna says this, Itite jnanam akyatam guhyat guhyataram maya. The very sacred and secret knowledge of Brahman I told you. Now, vimrishya, think, asheshena, endlessly, as many times you want to think, you think. Whatever I had told, I have to say, I have to say it to you. Yathechasi tatha kuru. And whatever you want, do it. Look at After giving the whole teaching of Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna is giving this freedom to him. To you has been imparted by me this knowledge, which is more secret than any secret. Pondering over this as a whole, do as you like. Sri Krishna, why he need to say all these things? I am telling you, fight. No, I have a question. No question, just fight. And Arjuna would have done that. No. This is the picture, this is the truth. For the sake of dharma, you should. On the first chapter itself, he convinced him. But then this came. The philosophy came. Why philosophy comes? If the philosophy, this another concept which I think once I mentioned here, Shastra and Shastra, weapons and scriptures. If you do not know how to use it, it doesn't mean anything. You have a best sword in the world. What do you call it? A Japanese sword, what is the name? You have that. But you don't know how to use it. You can own it. You can own a big library. But you don't have capacity to understand the wisdom of that. So Shastra, the weapons, and the Shastra, the scriptures. If I cannot put into practice little, whatever I can, if I am not able to put in practice the scriptures, it is meaningless, it is a wastage to spend time in talking about scriptures. It is not, as Swamiji says, religion is realization. It is not reading and acknowledging what I have read. It is something to realize, something to make you your own. What is that realization? What is that knowledge? We discussed at length. Information comes to you. Information changes. Information gets value is reduced. I don't need to know about it, which was yesterday so important to me. But knowledge, what is knowledge? Knowledge is not information which you gather in your brain. Knowledge is that which becomes you. It becomes part of you. You learn something, there is no way to unlearn it. There is no Control Z. That, okay, I learned archery, Control Z, forgot. I learned computer, Control Z, I forgot computer. You cannot forget if it is a knowledge. Information can, because it is comes and goes. You didn't know how to drive. You underwent the training and got a license now. Can you Control Z and forget driving? Even after 20 years, you put your hand on steering, within few seconds your instinct will tell, yes, I can drive. Knowledge is that which becomes part of you. If it doesn't become part of you, it is information. So here, this equanimity, what is that which is common? Sri Krishna is pushing this subject to our innate divinity. If that is there, we all are human beings. That is one idea, where we are all equals. There is no difference between us. As a human being, we are all equals. Yes, we have some differences are there which are very insignificant difference. But much more than that, we are all conscious living beings. When we say conscious living beings, it is not even the people here or people of the world, but every insect, bird, animal, everybody is coming to this fold, because we are all living beings. I remember a young boy, that now he is a big bank officer. When he was in his secondary school, one day he told me, if I keep the mobile phone here, it cannot move by itself. then how I am able to move my hands? It cannot move. I can move. Of course, 25 years this question, now modern science has already answered it. Now you have robotics and AI and how things happen we do not know. But it happens. But objectively. This conscious principle in us, is this breathing makes us conscious? No. Because that consciousness, this breathing takes place. And that consciousness, to realize that I am that consciousness, not this body. Because body changes. Body changes. All of us very young. Now we are growing old. Body continuously changes. If you identify yourself with the body, say, yeah, I have grown up now. We don't have a sense that I am that the same I. I doesn't become bigger or smaller. There is a verse in our scriptures that physical body is that which increases and decreases because of food. People lean and thin, people become fat. Then you will find people, oh, he lost 20 kilos, she lost 30 kilos, all these things. You can lose body weight. You don't lose your eye consciousness. Oh, it was this much, now I am this much. No, that remains the same. That equanimity, that which doesn't change from your, as long as you remember yourself. That consciousness which is a common factor, that divinity which is a common factor. Sri Krishna is leading towards that. Na prarishyet priyam prapya, na udvijet prapya cha apriyam. A state of mind is required. Many times, I personally, maybe I don't have that vocabulary to express. But it is true and it is science. The universe will crumble. The universe will get destroyed on the same moment where it will stop moving. Thousands of miles per second we are moving. We don't feel that we are moving. Not only we are moving like this around the sun, we are moving on our axis also. Think of the moon moving on the axis, moving around the earth, together moving around the sun, together sun moving around in a galaxy. And in such a fast movement, which otherwise in a relative world there is no train, plane which can travel so fast the amount of speed the earth has. But we don't feel, because it is relative. We were children, we grew, we are towards the old age. Because we are changing, we exist. The moment that change stops, we call it death. Continuously new cells are being generated. And the old cells, if I do like this, you don't see anything. But microscope, if I do like this, you will find the dead cells collected. This body is so much changing. So continuously the old cells are dying and the new cells are being born. Because of this continuous process, we are alive. What is death? No new cells production. Medical science has many things to say which I am not at all good in that. When a person dies, all the organs of your body do not die together. they one by one shut down. But this continuous change is called life. Because it is changing, we are alive. Take an example. All the big football club, Manchester United, East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, whatever you want to say. Oh, this club is 100 years old. How the club can exist for 100 years? Because the players, managers, physio, everybody is changing continuously. Okay, from today, same players, within 5 years, the club will die. Because there is no change. The human body, the organizations, the world, children are being born, old people keep on dying. That's all how continuous the world goes on. No more birth. Within few years, world will be empty. Our continuous existence shows that there is something which continuously changing. And because of the change, you think you exist. What philosophy, what the goal of whatever we do in the name of religion is. But I am perceiving this change. Am I changing? If while doing work, cutting vegetables, if I cut my finger, what you will say? I cut my finger. Doctor, I am cut. Little of myself is disconnected. No, yourself is not disconnected. Because you objectify your body. So that subject which is perceiving this change in this world, not only external world, even your body, your mind also. The witness of this continuous change is you. But we have identified us with the things which is changing. We have, now next is Guru Purnima, so you have a small booklet by we sing these bhajans. Last 3 weekends I am avoiding the first stotra. Today we shall sing maybe. It's called Dakshinamurti Stotra. In that shlokas are there. Stri balandha jadopama swahiti brantya brishamvadina. We are liars when we say, I am a man, I am a woman, I am lame, I don't have a hand. We are liars. Why? Consciousness doesn't decrease or increase. This knowledge is only this much. For this all practice is being done. We are all supposed to sit and japa and meditation. Why do we do that? Only to reduce that continuous movement of the mind, which doesn't allow you to see the bottom of yourself. Our mind is engaged continuously in different objects. Anything, just I look like this, within 2 seconds, how many frames are changing? People, person, mobile phone, curtain, light, microphone, so many things. I'm continuously being engaged with the objects. This is my object. I'm not microphone. This is a mobile phone. I'm not a mobile phone. This is a camera. I'm not a camera. This is a stage. I'm not a stage. This is a table. I'm not the table. Here are the people. I'm not the people. Then who am I? I look at myself. I am this. No, this is changing. And I am the perceiver of this change. How can I be the perceiver of the change? That which is changing is not me. Our identification with the body doesn't go because we continuously are attached with the object of perception. And God is great. There is no one way to get attached. He gave us 5 ways to get attached. See a beautiful face, got attached. Hear a sweet music, got attached. This surface, very smooth, got attached. This food, very tasty, got attached. This sight, this ear, smell. 5 different ways for you to get attached, and we are continuously getting attached with all the 5 senses. No way to come out. That's why this teaching of renunciation, that's why the teachings of meditation, that you at least come out of this situation which is given to you. You didn't ask for it. Whoever is born, sarva bhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. As soon as you take birth, there is these are colloquial words which we use, but we never think that it has a philosophical meaning. There are 5 kinds of change which are described. Jayate, you are taking birth. What is birth? You come out of your mother's womb. But then the next stage is called asti, to be. I am born, then I be an individual. You be a separate human being. Till 1 minute before, you were part of this body called mother's body. As soon as you took birth, your separate existence came into picture. Your individuality started growing. And as soon as the child is born, umbilical cord is cut, child is clean, and child is put upside down on mother's chest. Why? That is the identification he was or she was for just last 2 minutes before. The child was part of this body, and he feels absolutely comfortable to be again to become part of that body. So that separate existence is second state of our change. You took birth, jayate, asti, you became a separate existence than your mother. Vardate, then you start growing. Viparinamate, keeps on changing. A small child, very nice. Our one Swami used to say, it is more common in this side of Asia, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, this side. A small baby, 2 months old, you put together, very difficult to say whether he is a boy or a girl. Every race it is so. Up to certain age, there is no difference. But then viparinamate, there are physical change of identities. Continuous change. So jayate, asti, viparinamate. Then the graph comes down, apakshiyate. You became primary school, secondary school, college, grow. After that, nothing to grow. Slowly, heads started wide. So apakshiyate, the graph comes down. When graph touches, mriyate. The body created and the body died. But I am the witness of this process. If you are witnessing somebody's birth and death, will not help you. You objectify your birth and death. You don't remember your birth. Same way you will not remember your death. So in between the process of life, these are told, Swamiji also says in his lecture, every moment, spiritual life is a subjective life. How subjective life? This person is not good. So either he is good or he is not good. Swamiji says, Vedanta doesn't say decide on whether a person is good or bad. Vedanta says, ask yourself, why do I see that he is not good? It doesn't matter whether a person is good or not. There is no person who is absolutely bad or absolutely good. Why do I see this? Subjective life, spiritual life starts from subjective. If you keep on thinking about the objectives, we keep on hearing you, but we understand that you are not looking at the subject, you are looking at the objects of this world. That's why there are three types of people. One type of people who are the lowest, or rather we become first, second, third all the time. The lowest type of people talk about persons. You know, he is like this and she is like this. These are the lowest type of people. Then there is a second, little higher. They don't talk about person. They talk about happenings. He did like this, she did like this. And the third person will be there. It is not important. Important is why she did like this. What is the reason behind this behavior? You talk abstract, you don't bring people into it. I remember to ask a question to one Swamiji. So he was explaining some philosophy to me. So, we are friends. So I said, can you give me a concrete example? We always say this, no? So I said, can you give me a concrete example of this? He said, get out. Get out. I said, what did I do wrong? Why you need always a concrete example? Why not abstract example? Spiritual life doesn't start till you look for concrete example. Concrete example is an objectification. Remove all the forms, remove all the adjectives. Be abstract. Think about the abstract. And it becomes your nature to do so. And that's why you will find, and when you leave this objectification and you think about the principle, then that your equanimity starts. Because it is not important who are you and what are you. You are not interested in the person, you are not interested even in the incidents. You are interested in the principles, and principles are always abstract. Many times it is said, you are what your priorities are. Because priorities means among the objective word you are selective, you are a priority. That is on one level. Your state of mind is how much you are able to think abstract, not about the persons. For example, devotees come to Sri Ramakrishna when they used to come to him. When Swamiji came, Narendranath came, look at Sri Ramakrishna's observation. He says, so many people come, everybody's eyes is only down. Naren looks up, Naren doesn't look down. What is this up and down? People talk about people. Narendra doesn't want to talk about people. You read the whole complete verse of Swami Vivekananda, except appreciating some people, you will not find any statement in him where he talks about a person. He doesn't give importance to the person, he talks only about the principles. Swamiji, when he came back in 1897, giving lectures everywhere in India, Pakistan was part of India at that time, so Swamiji had gone to Lahore, and there he spoke. That was one lecture which Swamiji delivered in Hindi. When he is giving lecture, there are a lot of Punjabis, Sindhis, Arya Samajis, and he was appreciating a person. Because because in Lahore he doesn't have that many acquaintances. So I came to look at Mr. So-and-so, he is such a great man, such a nice man, doing so much work. 2-3 times he appreciated. After the lecture, somebody, host, came to Swamiji and said, Swamiji, publicly you appreciated that man so many times. Do you know he doesn't like you? He doesn't appreciate you. And here comes the greatness and the magnanimity of Swamiji. Swamiji immediately told to that person, he doesn't need to appreciate me to become a good man. Even if you hate me, you can be a great man. You don't need to be appreciative of me for becoming a good person. Not many people talk in this line. Not many people can talk. You appreciate me, oh, he's such a nice man, you know. The moment you criticize me, worthless. Why? Just because he appreciates you, he becomes a good person? No. Spiritual life is life of the spirit. Life of not the body, not the mind, not the intellect, but of the spirit. Their equanimity he talks about. We, because of our ignorance, because of this basic ignorance, we cannot come out. Most of us, or all of us, I do not know, we cannot come out from this first bondage called body. Everything what we do is concerning this body. All your relationship is because of this body. All your utilities is because of this body. Tell me one thing which is not because of this body. And we are caught in that. That's why traditionally, if somebody wants to lead spiritual life, we leave our home. Why? What is there to leave home? Can my parents are not spiritual people? Yeah, they are spiritual people. Then why you want to leave them? Are they bad people? No, they are not bad people. This exercise is for me. I want to come out of this, where it is connected with the body. So now I talk to people who have no blood relation. So I can look upon you people as a devotee, as a friend. Nothing to do with this body. Spiritual life comes from this. You don't need to renounce. There is an option. At that age you do it. Otherwise no. Spiritual life doesn't end if you don't renounce. Other day, very interesting, this first time I heard. One girl, young girl, she has in a way, but she had a strong desire to join Sarada Mutt and become a nun. But young girl, intelligent, freedom, outspoken. So all this doesn't happen when you come to the traditional nuns. So she goes, cannot adjust, come back. So went to our President Gautam Mahanji. That's why he is what he is. This girl had taken initiation from Gautam Mahanji. So just few days before, 15-20 days before, she went to do pranam to Gautam Mahanji in Belur Mutt. You know, looking at her, Gautam Mahanji told, spiritual life and God realization has nothing to do with a monastic life. She said, I was thinking, why he says so to me? Just because you have not become monk or a nun, you are not spiritual, is it? No, nothing to do with that. Yes, this is one way of life we have selected, fine. They only are spiritual who become monks? No. So he told, spirituality and God realization has nothing to do with the way of life you lead. I say many times, one is Adi Shankaracharya and Vivekananda. Remaining all the great people are householders. All the saints, make a list. All the saints are householders. So are they not spiritual? No, they are spiritual. But whether you are a householder, whether you are a monk, Sri Ramakrishna's simple words, He says, internal renunciation, external renunciation. External renunciation, I will leave my home, I will not get married and start my family, and I will live a monastic life. Good, one way of life. Another person decided, no, I will get married, have family, but I want to lead spiritual life. Continue. There is not a single line in our scriptures, at least I have not read, where it is said that to lead a householder life is a curse for spiritual life. Nowhere it is said. Nowhere it is said. Rather, read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. In the last chapters, Master Mahashaya is writing, Sri Ramakrishna, in his later period, not that previously he did not believe that, but he says, whoever comes here, none of them are worldly people. How? In Bengali it is a word called samsari. এখানে যারাই আসেন তার মধ্যে কেউ সংসারী নয়, ঠাকুর বলছেন। Sri Ramakrishna is telling, whoever comes here, nobody is a worldly person. Why? That means those who come to him, the worldliness is not in them. They are in the world. They have to live in the world. Swami Brahmanji was asked, Maharaj, can we realize God while staying in the world? Brahmanji asked again, is there anything out of this world? Sri Ramakrishna stayed in the same world. He took the same oxygen which you or me are taking. He stayed in Dakshinamurti, you also go and stay there. These are common things. Only his vision was different, his mind was different, his thinking was different. He was subjective, he was not objective. Always subjective. Spiritual life is subjective. Change is subjective. We always think, okay, no, change this. No, external change is only for utility and adjustment point of view. Change is always subjective. I have to adjust with the society. I can't change the whole society to adjust with me. We had our batch, one Swami passed away. Very young age he passed away. Very intelligent. But he had this issue. He can't adjust. So many transfers, one center to another center. So senior Swami, very motherly kind of Swami, he said, wherever you stay, just adjust with everybody. How many times you can take transfer? So the Swami says, why should I adjust with everybody? Let everybody adjust little with me. That doesn't happen. Subjective. I have to adjust. I can't keep on changing people in my life, no. We have to adjust. Subjective. In every possible way, to reach this equanimity, samadarshitva, first thing, we have to be subjective. Everything is subjective. It is very easy to criticize. So hot, how to meditate? Oh, aircon is so cold. I can't even understand the lectures because it is too cold. So reduce the temperature, increase the temperature, all these things. No. What about the mind? Subjective. Always there is two things, me and the object. Choose yourself, so far as the change is concerned. And the more subjective change comes, more we travel towards this equanimity. Thank you. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.